Over the past few seasons, I've had the opportunity to harvest 10 whitetail trophy bucks in 10 different states. One of the main things I attribute to that success is having my gear dialed in and ready before the season gets here. So what I want to do in these videos is help you know what's out there, what's the latest and greatest, or maybe what is some products that are out there that you don't know about that can help you achieve your goals this fall in the whitetail woods. So let's go ahead, sit down, buckle up, dive in to gear season 2025. What's up, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Revive Outdoors. If this is your first time to our channel, thanks for stopping by, and if you're coming back, thank you for coming back. I am excited to show you today the new Buzzard Roost Reloaded Saddle. This here is their lift kit. We're going to get into the details of all of it here in just a second. This is one of our most requested videos since the archery trade show at the start of this year. So I am excited to bring this to you as one of our first episodes here of gear season 2025. We're going to go through all the specs on this saddle. We're going to go through the features of it. And then lastly, we are going to go through a full demo on the tree for you. I am excited to tell you about the changes that they have made. This would be their third gen saddle. So they had first gen, second gen, and now this is their third gen. They're calling the Reloaded Saddle with the lift kit, which is where you add the suspenders and these two pouches to it. They have full saddle kits. For those of you that might be just getting started, you can just hit one button and get everything that you need to saddle hunt. So I am excited to share all of the details of it today. If you have any questions as we go through, always put those in the comments because it's going to help you as well as everybody coming along behind you. We have the discount code REVIVE. It is only going to run for 10 days. So be sure, if you're looking for a Father's Day gift, nudge your wife or your significant other and say, hey, this is what I need. Maybe even call your mom, ask her to buy you one because you are going to want one. This is one of the best saddles on the market for comfort and versatility. So this is going to be something that you really enjoy and you're going to be happy with your purchase when you get it. For those of you that may not have saddle hunted before and you're looking to learn a little bit, in the demo portion of this video, I'll go through some tips and tricks when it comes to using a saddle, so it will help you. But let's go ahead and dive into the specific details and features. The all-new Buzzard Roost Reloaded Saddle comes with several new features that the other saddles didn't have before. The first is they have expanded their backband to 5 inches for more back support. You're going to have a floating belt with new lighter buckles, and then they have included Cobra Buckles now standard on all saddles. There has also been a slight design change on the bottom to increase comfort, and then they have new, easier to use thumb loops for adjustments in the stand. When it comes to the lift kit, you are going to get the Buzzard Roost Saddle Reloaded, you're going to get the suspenders, and then you're going to get their 2 very nice large dump pouches. Again, this is all made here right in the USA, born out of the swamps of Louisiana. They're saying is we ain't fancy, and there is a reason to it. Very straightforward saddle, very comfortable, and one of the top saddles on the market today. Let's go ahead and dive into more details. Before I throw the saddle on and start up the tree, I want to just show you some of the new features. So biggest thing is with this lift kit is you're going to get suspenders. I previously was not a fan of suspenders until I tried them. Just thought it would be something extra that would get in the way, but I'll tell you in the demo portion why you are going to love the suspenders. The dump pouches, they are really nice, very well made, and very deep dump pouches, which is what you're going to like for your saddle setup. The reason being for that is you're going to have a lot of things to put in there. You're going to have ropes, you are going to have gear hoist, you're going to have gear hangers, you're going to have a lot of extra things that you're going to carry that you can throw in these dump pouches for quick access. When it comes to the new revision of this saddle, the reloaded version, you have this expanded backband. You can tighten down these straps and you can bring that backband down low so it acts as a single panel, or you can expand those out and make it higher on the back so it feels more like a 2-panel saddle. For me, what I typically do on my shorter hunts is I keep these down nice and tight, almost acting as a single panel. And then when I'm on my longer, maybe my all-day sits or my 6-8 hour sits, I'm going to expand this out and maneuver it throughout the day to get comfortable. In my opinion, when it comes to the best saddles on the market, they're all going to have expansive adjustability. So you're going to have a lot of different ways that you can adjust those, which I will show you later in this video. Another thing that they have done is they've expanded the bottom panel. They made some adjustments to it so it's just more comfortable and fits more specific to your body. Flipping around to this side of the saddle, there are three things that I really love. You have these really lightweight, quick detach and attach buckles here on this here for your waist, and then down here below on your leg straps. A lot of you previously that I've talked to, you cut off the leg straps. Please do not do that. You need to make it home safe at the end of the day. If you have a fall, you're going to need those leg straps. Another thing that you need to do is you need to get accustomed to staying attached to the tree from the bottom top and top to bottom. Never detach from the tree. Buzzard Roost has made it to where you have no excuses. It's easy to stay attached, keep those leg straps, keep that waist around you, and then attach your lineman's belt and tether as you go up and down the tree. One of the things that I want to point out on some of the top saddles is they have the most adjustability for comfort. So everybody's body's different. Somebody else can be just like me, 5'9", 160-ish pounds, and they might fit into this saddle differently. You may have a different hip range. You may have different pinch points. You may have different things that even though you're the same size technically as me, it's going to fit you a little bit different. So you can adjust these around to your liking and to your comfort. I absolutely love the Buzzard Roost Saddle. So let's go ahead and show you why by jumping onto the demo portion of this video. When it comes to putting on this saddle specifically with the lift kit that has the suspenders, the first thing that you're going to do is if you have a closed bridge, which means that you have to step through it, you're going to step through it and then you're going to put these suspenders on around your shoulder. One thing I would say that if you are going to go with the suspenders, which I would suggest, I would also suggest doing an open bridge. So then you don't have to worry about stepping through anything. You can just throw it on your shoulders, connect your bridge up, and then you are good to go. But for those of you that do want a closed bridge, that's what this setup will be. So the first thing that you are going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to buckle it down. You want the waist belt nice and secure and tight to your body, so that way if you were to fall, it is going to be secure and safe. The next thing that you want to do is connect your leg strap. So you're just going to reach down and grab your leg straps here. It doesn't matter if one goes left, one goes right, because they're tied at the same point. And then you're gonna go ahead and connect these two. So I have them loose to start out with, and then I'll show you how easy it is to tighten them down. So you're just gonna tighten them down like that. If you want to leave them loose while you're walking through the woods, you can do that, but before you climb, make sure you remember to tighten these up. It's gonna have a very similar feel to those that maybe done indoor rock climbing or outdoor rock climbing to a rock climbing harness at this point. Then if you're walking through the woods, you can leave it undone. What I like to do is I like to tighten it down and get it out of the way. So I'll tuck it back here in the back, so that way it's not hanging on anything or grabbing on anything when I'm walking through the woods. And then again, I would go ahead and loosen this up, loosen the belt up, and I would walk through the woods like this if I had the suspenders from this lift kit. Otherwise, you're going to be dependent on your waist belt to hold everything nice and tight. And then what I like to do is I like to put my pouches back behind my body, so when I'm walking, I'm not hitting them. So I can swing my arms and I'm not hitting them every time I walk. I like to put them back a little further back. And then me personally, I am trying to make a decision. Hey, do I want it up here on the backband, or do I want it down here on the bottom panel? I personally haven't decided, so if you have any tips for that, please let me know why you put it on the bottom or why you put it on the top, so that way maybe I can see from your perspective why you like it that way, and it may help me make that decision as well. But the way that I have this set up is on the right I have my tree tether, and then I have my gear hanger. So that is what's going to be on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side I have my lineman's belt. So what I do is I always keep my lineman's belt connected to the lineman loops. You have lineman loops on the top and the bottom. You can use either one, but I like to use it on the top panel, so then you can pull it out, throw it around. You only have to have one carabiner because the other side's always permanently attached. You can run 2 carabiners, but the less carabiners you have, the less likely they are to hit together and make any noise. And then I have my bow pull-up rope. That way I can pull anything up that I need to when I am in the woods. And so let's go ahead and turn around, get on the tree, and I will show you how to properly ascend and then descend, and then talk through some features of the saddle and why I like it. When it comes to ascending up the tree, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to throw your lineman's belt around the tree and then connect it to this loop on the other side, and then go ahead and make sure that you lock in your carabiner so that way you don't have to worry about it coming undone as you ascend and descend. So you can either adjust the lineman's belt forward, or you can pull it back so you can get away from the tree. For those of you that may have not used the lineman's belt before, you're just going to sit back into this and always keep weight against it, and that is going to prevent you from falling. If you do slip, what you want is you want to have it to where you're as close to the tree as possible, and you're always keeping that tension, so that way you just have a very small fall into the tree. You don't want to be way extended out here far from the tree, because that's going to be further that you swing in and hit the tree. So I always like to have it to where I am up here close to the tree, nice and tight, just off just a tad, where I have the ability to put my climbing sticks and go ahead and go up. Now, once I get to the top, a lot of times I will put my climbing stick level with where the platform, the saddle platform, is going to go. And so that way I can work my way around the tree. That way the platform allows me to move around the tree as much as possible. And then if I want to get around that backside, I have that stick there even with the platform. But you're just going to go ahead and ascend up the tree, and then once you get to your platform, what a lot of people do is they go ahead and step into it. But what I want to tell you to do is go ahead, have your lineman's belt on the tree, and then go ahead and pull out your tether and go ahead and attach it. That way you have two attachment points before you make the riskiest transition through all of these movements. So you're going to throw this around the tree, you're going to find that loop that it has, and you're going to run it back through itself and make sure it's tight to the tree. For those of you that may have had a hunter safety system, safety harness before, where it attaches to the back, this is going to be a little bit different. You're going to attach this to the bridge that we tucked around before we started up the tree. You're going to loosen the bridge up just a tad, so you have an extension on the bridge to give you a little bit of space, and then you're going to tighten it down on the carabiner. Again, what a lot of people will do is they will have that bridge loose, they'll have the tether far off the tree, and that's just more that you're going to fall if you do slip on the tree. So right now you can see it's already starting to grab on me before I make that transition. But what I would do is I would go ahead, and since I'm in there with the lineman's belt on that stick, I'm going to reach as high as I possibly can with that safety tether, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down on the tree, and then tighten up any bit of slack that I have before I make that transition over to the platform. Once you go over to the platform with this, obviously doesn't have a stick even with it, so it's a lot steeper of a step. But if you were to have a step already there, you would just step on over to that platform and then go ahead and get set up for your hunt. With this, I'm going to go ahead and step up into it. You can see I still have tension on that lineman's belt. Always keeping tension on everything, and then I can go ahead and move my safety tether to where I want it on the tree, and I can go ahead and tighten up that prusik knot. Once you have that tightened, you make sure that carabiner is locked in. You don't make any mistakes. You're going to go ahead and come off of that, and then remove your lineman's belt from the equation. Go ahead and tuck that back in your dump pouch, and then you can see you can sit back into your saddle and go ahead and dial it in for comfort, or go ahead and set your gear hanger up around the tree and make sure that it is ready for your hunt. And so for me, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and pull up whatever I'm using to hunt with, so that way if anything does come by, I'm already have it up in the tree. So I'm going to throw my gear hanger around the tree, go ahead and pull that up, and then go ahead and hang it on the tree. But what I like to do here is I like to have my prusik knot pretty tight to the tree. A good range that a lot of people will tell you when it comes to saddle hunting is have it somewhere between your belly button and your eyes on where this is going around the tree. What you will figure out is you will make adjustments to this, and you'll figure out what's the most comfortable for you. So for right now, that's not very comfortable for me at my eye level, so I'm going to bring it down just a tad, so that way I can get it to where I like it. But just make sure you're always keeping your slack out of it as much as possible. You have the least slack that you have in your setup, the least shock that it's going to be. But let's go ahead and let me get this set up the way that I would. So I can already feel a lot of tension here in my groin. And so I can take this and I can go ahead and slide it down. And then what I can do is I can go ahead, and if I want to, I can start to adjust these buckles up on this back band and go ahead and pull it up if that's something that I want to do. A lot of people will have knee pads, they'll have some kind of support here, so they can just sit here in the tree and they can even shoot from this position. And so that is one option that you have. But instead of diving into all the details of saddle hunting, because there's a lot of videos out there, let's go ahead and talk about what you came here for, which is this saddle. And so for what I like to do is I'm going to loosen up my leg straps just a tad, go ahead and get situated, and then I'm going to tighten those leg straps back down to where I like that panel. So you can see here I have it a little lower, and then what I like to do is I like to go ahead and tighten that second panel, the back band, down onto it. So that top panel, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down nice and tight to it, and then I'm going to sit like this most of the time. If I want to go down to the tree, I have the option to put my legs on each side, or I can push it over here. I can sit like this, or I can move around like this. So you can adjust your bridge, you can adjust your prusik knot here, and you can get comfortable. The most comfortable position that I have found for me personally in my setup is just sitting here like this. Then I can grab whatever I'm using off the tree, and I can go ahead and take my shot from this exact position, or I can go ahead and just ease up and start to work my way around the tree. But what I wanted to talk about and specifically point out is what I love about this reloaded saddle. For the first thing that I noticed is when I picked it up is they're using less material for a more efficient saddle, but also a more lightweight saddle. My original Gen 1 was heavy. This is a lot more lightweight. They've dialed in their sewing techniques, they've dialed in what material they're using, and they have made it lighter. Then they had also made it more comfortable. This extended back band is really nice. I was actually considering after last season of adding not just the top panel that I keep referring to as the back band, but also adding an additional back band that then connects up here that provides more support up higher. But now that they have extended this top portion of the panel, you don't have to have that unless you really need it. So a lot of times bigger guys have more space they need to cover, they need more support, so the back band will come in handy. Or maybe you're somebody who you just like support all the way to the top of your back. That is going to provide that for you with that back band. So for me and my size and what my desires are for comfort, this is going to be really nice for me, having that extra couple of inches there on that back band. And then the saddle itself, like I keep feeling a lot of tension right now because I haven't adjusted my loops to the comfort that I need to. And so they've changed a little bit of the design in the saddle. And so what you can do is you can come off the tension, and then you can start to work these knots around on this lineman's belt loop until you get it to where you like it and to where it's comfortable. And so for each person, like I said before, it is going to be different, but you're going to massage these loops around, you're going to get them to move, and then you're going to dial it in, and then you never have to touch it again. And then a final thing that I really like that they have done is they've made adjustments to the lower panel, and it allows you to massage these knots around, get them to where you want them on each of these lineman's belt loops, and that way it dials in the comfort. So you can obviously pull this in, you can expand it out, and it's going to allow you to get it set up specifically for you. If you get up in the tree and you realize, hey, I don't really want these suspenders on, you can let them hang. You can also take them and you can tuck them into a pouch that you're not using. So this pouch is now empty, so I can tighten those down so I don't have to worry about any extra movement or anything dangling. But then you have it already attached, those suspenders, so when you get down from the tree, you can throw those on. It makes it a lot more comfortable keeping the saddle on but moving through the woods and walking. If you're someone that's watching this episode and you're not really sure, hey, I might have a Buzzard Roost already or I might not have a saddle at all, let's talk about those two things. So first, if you have a Buzzard Roost saddle already, sell it, spend a little bit of extra money with the money you make off that one, and go ahead and get the reloaded version. If you're somebody who doesn't have a saddle at all yet, we're gonna have a lot of different saddles that are hitting the gear season playlist here you're gonna get to learn about. One thing that I love specifically about Buzzard Roost, made in the USA, two great guys on the company, and it has a lot of adjustability. So when you're looking at all the different saddles that are on the market, make sure that you get one that has all those adjustments built into it. Don't go cheap. Don't save $100 trying to go with one that doesn't have all that adjustment, because then you're going to hate saddle hunting when you try it for the first time. Those of you that have been saddle hunting, you already know this, or maybe that you have a saddle right now and you're like, it just doesn't give me what I need. All my friends talk about how awesome this saddle or that saddle is, and I just don't see how. Well, the reason is you didn't buy a good saddle saddle from the get-go. So go ahead and buy quality. Look at buying this made here right here in the USA. Use that discount code as it helps us support our mission here at Revive Outdoors. But if you have any questions, please put those in the comments. If you are looking to get into saddle hunting, the answer is yes. Whether you are young or old, you would be surprised how easy it is to saddle hunt. It's a lot easier than hang-on stands. It's a lot easier than ladder stands, and the deer don't know where you're going to be. So you can be where they are versus that same hang-on stand or ladder stand that you've hunted for years that all the big mature bucks know where you're at, when you're there, how you come, how you go. You can pop up a tree and harvest that deer at the time it is to harvest it, because they have no clue that you were there, because it's your first time up that tree. They're coming by it, minding their own business based off the scouting you found, and you get to harvest and achieve your goals for that season. So a lot of versatility in saddles. You're going to be very happy with it. I can tell you that. If you have any questions, put those in the comments. More than happy to help those that are interested in getting into saddle hunting. Make sure that you have everything that you need. But go ahead, jump on over to Buzzard Roost. Use our code for 10% off. It's just all caps Revive to get yours before this 10-day sale ends. But we thank you for watching. Go ahead and stay tuned to the end of this episode to learn more about us here at Revive Outdoors. If this is your first time to our channel, I want to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do here at Revive Outdoors. So we are a nonprofit based out of Birmingham, Alabama, serving multiple states through our mission. Our mission is to make a positive and an eternal impact through conservation. The positive side of that comes to helping connect people through mental health counseling, and then the eternal side is connecting people to salvation through Jesus Christ. So what we do to accomplish that mission is we teach adults how to hunt. So we have a hunting 101 workshop where they can learn all about either deer or turkey hunting, and then they qualify for a one-on-one mentored hunt with our team. We have over 40 volunteers that volunteer their time to take these mentees out on mentored hunts. During that mentored hunt, they're going to take what they learned in that workshop and they're going to apply it to that hunt. But while they are also on that hunt, our team is going to identify where they are at in their walk in life. Do they need to take a step towards mental health counseling, or towards salvation, or towards joining our team, or maybe getting connected with the church or a small group? We want to make that positive and eternal impact. And since 2020, we've had 400 adults come through our mentorship program. We have seen over 100 get connected to mental health counseling, and we have seen 54 individuals receive salvation through Jesus Christ. So God is all in this and leading us to make a huge impact for the kingdom, and we are grateful to be a part of that. And ways that you can be a part of that is you can join our team as well. Whether you're in Alabama or maybe you're in another state, we have virtual meetings where you can connect. Thank God for technology. You can connect to our team, but we would be happy to connect with you if that's something that you're interested in. If you'd like to support us financially, first thing first is use the discount codes or click on the links that we have for the products that you are looking to buy. If you click more and then you hit more again, it'll get to our show notes. You click that link. I know it's an extra step that you have to take, but it helps that company know that you came from our channel, and they will make a donation back to our mission here at Revive Outdoors. You can also give through Venmo, PayPal, or our website if you want to support us that way. But before you leave this episode today, be sure to like the video and then subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. It's completely free, doesn't cost you anything, but helps us out a ton. And then be sure to comment any questions that you have, but also comment what you want to see in future episodes so we know what kind of content that you are looking for, so we can help you make those informed purchase decisions. But we thank you again for watching today's episode, and we will see you on the next one.